The cold bit through his hands as the wrench slipped one last time, scraping his knuckles raw, but the single dad didn't stop. Snow was piling up on the empty roadside, his breath coming out in tired clouds, and the stranger's broken car sat silent like a problem no one else wanted. He could have walked away. He was already late. His daughter was waiting. But something heavier than exhaustion held him there, tightening his chest as he bent back under the hood, unaware that this simple act of kindness would follow him home and knock on his door before the night was over. If you believe that kindness still matters in a world that feels too rushed and too cold, take a second right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Ripple of Kindness. Your support keeps stories like this alive. He hadn't always been this man. Once his life had been orderly, predictable, even hopeful. Then his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with a 6-year-old daughter and a silence in the house that felt louder than any noise. Bills piled up faster than his paychecks. His old mechanic skills, learned from his father years ago, became a side job he relied on to survive. That evening, he had finished a long shift at a warehouse and was walking home when he noticed the stalled car, hazard lights blinking weakly through the snowfall. The woman standing beside it looked lost, not panicked, just worn down in a way he recognized all too well. He didn't ask for money. He didn't even think about it. He just opened the hood, worked with numb fingers, and used spare parts he carried out of habit. The engine finally coughed back to life, and relief softened the woman's face. She tried to offer something, anything, but he shook his head and pointed down the road, thinking only of getting home before his daughter fell asleep worrying. He watched the car disappear into the snow, never learning her name, never imagining she would remember his. Home was a small rented house with peeling paint and a porch that creaked under tired feet. Inside, the air smelled faintly of cheap soup and laundry detergent. His daughter was curled up on the couch under a blanket, pretending to be asleep but opening her eyes the moment he stepped in. He carried her to bed, brushed hair from her forehead, and sat there longer than he should have, listening to her breathing. In those quiet moments, the weight of his life pressed down hardest. He wondered how long he could keep going like this, how many more small sacrifices it would take just to keep things from falling apart. Later that night, as he washed grease from his hands, a knock echoed through the house. Not loud, but firm, deliberate. His heart jumped. No one ever came by this late. He glanced at the clock, then moved quietly so he wouldn't wake his daughter. When he opened the door, warm light spilled out onto the porch, revealing the woman from the roadside. Only now she looked different, not in her face but in her presence. Calm, certain, powerful in a way that didn't need to announce itself. She stood there holding a small folder, snow melting on her coat, eyes steady and searching his face as if confirming something she already knew. She explained, slowly and sincerely, how that broken-down car had belonged to her. How the cold night had followed one of the hardest days of her life. How his simple refusal to take money had stayed with her long after she drove away. She had people who fixed problems for a living, she said, but none who did it simply because it was the right thing to do. Inside that folder were documents he barely understood at first, a foundation she ran, a company known across the world, and an offer that felt unreal, like something from a movie rather than his small, tired life. She wasn't offering charity. She was offering opportunity, a fully funded mechanic shop in his name, training, stability, a future, not because she pitied him but because she trusted him. The single dad felt his knees weaken. All the walls he had built to survive cracked at once. He thought of his daughter's worn shoes, her quiet questions about why things were hard, her brave little smiles. He thought of his wife, of the man he had promised her he would be. Tears came before he could stop them, not from shame, but from release. For the first time in years, hope didn't feel dangerous. She didn't stay long. She didn't need to. As she walked back into the night, the porch light glowing behind her, he realized something profound. Kindness didn't always return the way you expected, but it always returned changed, heavier, fuller. The months that followed were not magically easy, but they were different. The shop opened in a modest building near town. Word spread quickly, not just about fair prices but about honesty, about a man who treated everyone with respect, who remembered what it felt like to be stranded in the cold. His daughter started smiling more, laughing louder. The house felt warmer, even before the bills stopped piling up. One evening, after closing the shop, he watched his daughter do homework at a clean table under bright light. He understood then that the knock on his door hadn't just changed his life. It had confirmed something he had almost forgotten. That being good still mattered. That doing the right thing, even when no one was watching, could ripple outward in ways you never see coming. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness. Your engagement helps these stories reach more hearts. And before this video ends, I have one special request. Please comment below with one act of kindness you've given or received that changed you. Someone out there needs to read it. Because sometimes, the smallest choice on the coldest night becomes the moment that changes